Hey guys, so do you guys remember the Arthur episode where Arthur had to babysit the Tibble twins? Well, today I'm going to be reviewing the episode. So buckle down as we review the Arthur episode, Arthur Babysits. The episode starts out with Arthur babysitting DW and Kate. DW then calls Arthur a boring babysitter, but Arthur tells her that she's lucky, because Arthur didn't like the babysitters he had when he was little because they didn't let him do anything fun.
Don't make noise. Go to bed.
It's daytime.
Go to bed.
Arthur doesn't understand why babysitters are like that, saying that babysitting is the easiest job on earth. Yeah, sure, it totally is, Arthur. The next day, Arthur finds DW come home from preschool covered in paint. Apparently, they did finger painting at school that day, and apparently the Tibble twins must have gotten paint all over DW. Arthur says the Tibbles probably aren't that bad because they're only in preschool, but that doesn't mean they can't be monsters. DW's in preschool, but I'd still consider her a monster. And Caillou is also a monster. Anyway, poor Grandma Tibble needs someone to babysit the terrifying Tibble twins. Their current babysitter had just quit. DW tells Grandma Tibble that Arthur will babysit the Tibble twins, which Arthur reluctantly agrees to. Arthur tells his friends at the Sugar Bowl that he's babysitting the Tibble twins, and Prunella says that her sister Rubella babysitted them and is still suffering PTSD from it. Francine assures Arthur that it'll be just like babysitting DW and Kate, only it'll be a little bit worse, which it seems like this is going to be a nightmare to Arthur, because babysitting DW and Kate is already a nightmare alone to him. Prunella and Buster tell Arthur to be tough on the Tibble twins.
Be tough on them or you're dead.
Tell them that you're in charge and what you say goes.
I say go, what I say go.
Anyways, Arthur arrives at the Tibbles' house and the Tibbles are already acting up.
My grandsons are very energetic.
You think?
The Tibbles need to take a nap, but they just aren't tired. Arthur orders them to take a nap, but it's like talking to a wall. The Tibbles outright disobey Arthur and they start messing around with other stuff in the house, like this knight statue. And Timmy gets a life-size portrait of his body on the wall. This reminds me of when Manny from Diary of a Wimpy Kid did that. He drew a portrait of himself on the wall, and Greg's and their parents were not mad at Manny at all. And the Heffley parents thought it was pretty cute, and they wouldn't take it down off the wall. The Tibbles also mess around with the clock. And you guys might remember Arthur actually did that later in the series. He did so we could get more TV time. So yeah, but I'm kind of veering off topic, so let's get back on the episode, shall we? Arthur tries to clean up the Tibbles' messes. And then the telephone rings. It turns out it's DW calling to make sure everything's going okay. Arthur tells DW that the Tibbles will not take their nap, so DW recommends that he try playing a game with the Tibbles to calm them down. Arthur tries playing a card game with them, however the Tibbles make a mess out of the cards. Making it rain. Look at all of those. Arthur suggests a new game where they play cowboys and where Arthur is the deputy and the Tibbles have to do what Arthur tells them. However, this doesn't work either. The Tibbles just go back to being wild again. And this time the Tibbles tie Arthur up, and when DW goes to the phone to call them, the Tibbles say that Arthur can't come to the phone because he's all tied up. Then they do some hide and seek. And Arthur appreciates the quiet, but then he realizes the Tibbles might have escaped through the open window. And he realizes not only he will get in trouble, but the whole town will get in trouble too. Man, these Tibbles should be in jail, but they are only 4 years old, so yeah. Then DW calls Arthur for like the third time. Arthur is worried because he thinks he's lost the Tibbles, but then quickly sees her feet under the under the living room curtain. Sorry, I was stuttering right there. So Arthur knows where the Tibbles are, however, he pretends to believe that they're gone and that the Swamp Thing will get them, which is a creature that Arthur made up. And this reminds me of the swamp creature from the Backyardigans.
I'm the swamp creature. Ah! Oh boy, the swamp creature. It's real. It's really real. There really is a swamp creature.
Anyways, Arthur's story scares the Tibbles right out of their hiding place, and then they cling to Arthur. Arthur then proceeds to tell the Tibbles his made-up story about the Swamp Thing and about how it goes after Tibbles. And the story legit makes Timmy's face turn green. Pretty soon, Grandma Tibble arrives back and she's pleased that Arthur didn't go running from the Tibbles. Arthur happily tells Grandma Tibble that the monsters are on his side. And now Grandma Tibble wants Arthur to watch the Tibbles every afternoon, which Arthur is okay with. When Arthur arrives home, Arthur gladly tells DW about how he successfully babysat the Tibble twins. He also tells DW that the Tibbles want to hang out with DW. DW is devastated by this, and she tries to fake having a fever to her mom in order to not hang out with them. Okay, so I'm done recapping the episode now, but now I'm going to talk about the episode a bit. I thought it was a really good episode, and I really think that Arthur showed that he really had talent with, keeping the Tibbles under control. We should call him Arthur Reed Tibble Tamer. And actually, the events of this episode are mentioned again in a future episode. Anyway, see you guys later.